Update to the BA shredder. Wow, where to start? I guess we'll start with some of the positive stuff, get everything rolling on a good note. So the guy that tests armor, he's going to be testing 243 against a bunch of stuff. The biggest thing is 3/8 500 steel at 100 yards, because that's the ultimate goal with this, because that's your standard body armor. Anything thicker, and it's just not practical. Anything thinner, it's not stopping anything. And if you go to ceramic, you can't afford it, and even if you could, it's got a shelf life of 10 years. Roughly. I probably should have Googled that before I just said that. Awkward. Oh well, the point is, it's got a shelf life. And so, let's say you can afford level 4 armor, well, you gotta replace it again. And again. And again. And again, and then you just die from old age. But the point is, there's not much of a used market for it because of the shelf life. And the new market sucks because it's got a shelf life. So after he tests it at 3/8 500 steel, what he's going to do is climb up in bullet weight so we can find the heaviest bullet that we can slide right through body armor at 100 yards. This way we can get the highest BC. Because we're trying to find a balance here. On one side, we got armor penetration. On the other side, we got ballistic coefficiency, which allows you to shoot really far. So we need to find the balance. How far towards ballistic coefficiency can we go before it stops penetrating armor? Next positive thing. I got a beautiful 2-stage Rock River Arms trigger. Here's your wall. This one does have a little bit of creep because it's brand new. I installed it like 5 minutes ago. And then a nice snap. Love that trigger. And that rolls us right into the bad stuff. So, the pins, because it's actually supposed to have chrome pins right here, just like on the Black 13 project, are so far out of spec they don't even fit. They don't even fit in the trigger itself. At first I was like, maybe the AR-10 receiver's got some sort of crazy weird spec because everything else is weird and just somehow happens to take every other AR-15 trigger pin but won't take these, so let's just try it in the trigger itself. Nope, won't even fit. But this will be an excellent opportunity for me to test out Rock River Arms customer service, because if I was that company, I'd be like, oh, wow, the pins don't fit? These are so cheap. What's your address? And I'll just ship you 2 new ones, but we'll see. Oh. The next thing, the handguard. As you know, I was trying to go with this Troy handguard. Now, they do actually make one that's the right size. That's called the HP. But because Armorlite ran their company into the ground, and they sell their own handguard, there's real no aftermarket support, and they quit making that handguard. So lovely. Anywho, so I was trying to make the LP1 work, and I was getting close. I had it so it basically worked on a factory nut. But in order for it to grip right, in order for it to sit flush, sit flush like how it's supposed to, I had to get a different nut because the factory nut was a little bit too thick. So I ordered one from Troy, and apparently the left hand don't know what the right hand's doing, because my question to them was, will their Armorlite pattern nut for the Alpha rail work for this one? And they said yes. No, it doesn't. So on this particular rail, there's an inside taper, which allows these little things right here to grip it. On the Alpha rail, apparently there's not that taper. Now, I actually didn't drive truck today because my plan was, as soon as I leave the shop, I'm going to the other shop, like the garage, pulling out the Dremel, and I'm going to make this son of a bitch work. But there's other issues too. Most barrels, once they come out of the extension, they have an abrupt taper. But this one doesn't. It's the same size from right here all the way to right here. So the bolts that go through here, they impact the barrel. So I'd have to put some sort of clearance grind in these 4 places, so I'd have to grind on this barrel to make that fit. And the problems get worse from there. The LP, because DPMS sucks. I mean, their pattern, but there's also a step down in the rail because DPMS went with a skinnier rail. It kind of sucks for mounting scopes because you don't have all the meat to work with. Like right here, if I mount a scope, if I have a nice thick base, it'll still mount, just like on an AR-15. The DPMS pattern, they shave some of that space down, so you might have some sort of clearance issues with mounting a scope attachment. I mean, that's not really that big of a deal. I would have dealt with the step down because I'm not going to run night vision anyway. Even if I did, I'd just get a mount that compensates for the step down. Anywho, I'm throwing in the towel on the rail. I'm not going to run it. I'm just going to give it away on my Patreon because at this point, it's so ill-fitting to not even close, because what I'm going to need is something that clamps on the outside so I don't have the bolts that impact the barrel, because this barrel is so freaking fat. There is this website that claims, I'm going to have to talk to them on the phone before I place an order, because I don't want to buy something that's, 5 months out on back order. I need them to actually hold the product, confirm the part number with me. But anyway, this website claims to have one of the Midwest Industries AR pattern rails, which is amazing. Which I would have got if I could have found it, but I basically had to search the dark web to find the website, because it's some sort of leftover stock, because like I said, Armalite ran their company into the ground and then they produced their own rails, so there's no reason to have any aftermarket support, because 1, nobody buys the rifles, and 2, if they do buy the rifle, they already come with a rail on it. Which I would just buy the Armalite rail, but 1, it's the, what is it, key mod? The one that looks like these kind of shelves. It's just stupid. I hate the way that looks, and how it attaches to the receiver is ugly as hell. So if this website does not have the rail and they just have it there so to trick you into think they having it, and then you buy it and then you're waiting on back order for 9 months for something that's not going to show up because they don't make it anymore. If they can't hold it and guarantee me that it is actually in stock, then I have a couple of options here. I could go with UTG, which makes me want to vomit. I would never put anything UTG on my rifle, but I'm really running out of options here. Or I could get the Armalite one, which I don't like. I think they're freaking ugly, but, I will if I have to. So that's something I can make. Or I could just hunt and gun broker and hope somebody throws up, one of the old Troy Alpha rails or one of the Midwest Industry rails for this particular rifle. But then I'm dealing with a person and not a company. So if they don't know what they're talking about, like say they just ordered the rail and they're like, oh, I'm not going to put it on, and they thought it was Armalite, but it's actually DPMS, so I'm going to have to get real familiar with the part numbers to make sure it's the right one. Just problems. It really sucks because this rail was a large part of my budget last month. So that's just going to shit. But yeah, see how the DPMS nut fits in there just a little bit recessed beautifully. Then you throw in the Armalite nut. Oh no, it doesn't fit in there so much anymore. You got about 1/8 of an inch, and that's what kind of gap I get on my upper rail. So like I said, at this point, we're just scratching the Troy rail. We're not going with it. I don't care anymore. So the next problem I'm having is trying to find a brake that looks decent on here, because this barrel's so freaking fat. Like I bought, what is this, Dead Air? Yes, a Dead Air QD one, because I was hoping that the QD mount would be fat enough to blend it in. Nope, not even close. This thing looks stupid. It's like an erect nipple or something. It's not even close to the barrel size. I mean, yes, if I put on a can, then it would look okay, but I'm not running a can on this rifle because of the application of the rifle. This is supposed to be an offensive rifle from 300 to 500 yards, but still have the ability to punch through most body armor within 100 yards. So if I put a can on here and I start laying down fire, I'm not going to be able to see through the scope anymore because the mirage that comes off of it, it's useless. It's just not what I'm going to do. So this isn't going to work because I'm not going to run a can. I just got the QD mount to try to blend in. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to do this. Like, if it didn't have this little step down right there, it would be perfect. But again, it's too long, too. I don't want something this long. I want something more like... this, maybe. I was thinking like a single port, like this long. It would be like that. Just enough for the threads, but still the same diameter. I gotta talk to this barrel company. Maybe they could just turn me out a break. Because I can't find anyone that makes anything close to it. Even those big fat cans, they still have a taper. They like step down and then they go up in big. So nothing but problems there. I mean, I guess, worst case scenario, I'll just throw on something and it doesn't really matter, but it's not gonna be this. This is just too freaking long. And like I said, I'd like something, maybe like the ACC, I believe it's called. I don't know, we had a Mossberg Patriot with one of them on there. I wish we still had it so I could throw my mic on there and measure what I need. Because for an outer diameter, I want something close to... 1.18, somewhere in there. Like, that's the actual barrel size, so I'd probably go as far down as like 1.1. Yeah, 1.1 wouldn't look bad. It's basically got to be over an inch. And no one makes anything like that without a taper because it would look stupid on basically every rifle but this. So, that's a bridge we got to cross. So yeah, I'm going to have to just probably throw this dead air break on my Patreon as well. It'll be a good couple of months for my Patreons. Anywho, make sure to subscribe to that guy. This is what his channel card looks like. I'll have a link to his channel also in the description. And just keep on him like, hey, we want to see those 243 videos. Hey, we want to see those 243 videos. To light a fire under his ass to get testing, so... I mean, I'll do some basic testing, but I don't have the capabilities he does. He actually has real bulletproof vests that he shoots. I just don't have those resources. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you'd like to help support the channel, I have my Patreon right there. I also have affiliate links in the description down below. Even if you don't buy what that link's for, just clicking on that link and doing the Amazon shopping you're going to do anyway, and a little kickback for it because you went there off my channel. I also have my merch shelf going where you can get sweaters and t-shirts, stuff like that, stickers, hats. Do I have hats? Coffee mugs, that's for sure on there. Anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.